Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I put a post on Instagram and people wanted to see another tutorial. So here I am making another tutorial for you guys. Today we're gonna actually learn how to do a backspin. Okay, we're gonna learn how to do a backspin from a Cali whip. That's what we call it. Again, there's very different names for many different moves, but that's what we're gonna learn it out of. That's what I learned it like. And we're gonna have B-Boy Iron Kid, one of my students, help us out with the video, okay? All right, cool. So we're gonna learn the backspin in 3 steps, okay? The first step, actually this was taught by one of my best friends from Colombia. Shout out to B-Boy RX. This was kind of like the best way for me to teach my students how to do a backspin pretty fast, and also is gonna build up their strength in their core and their legs. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you the position we're in. We're in like, I don't know how to call this, like a number 4 position with his elbow right here, okay? We're gonna show you the sideways too. So Iron Kid, just turn around a little bit, show them the sideways view. Good, okay, see, so you can see his elbows right there. His feet are right here, perfect 4 position. Again, please the front now. And now we're gonna go into the first step, okay? So a Cali whip, right? This is what I learned it like, or what the name that I learned it as, is basically you're gonna kick the right leg. We're learning it with the right kick here. You're gonna kick the right leg towards me, right? The right leg is the foot is actually gonna stay as close to the ground as possible, all right? And you're gonna kick it all the way around in a circle, as close to the floor as possible, right? So that was very slow. It's actually kind of hard to get your foot as close to the ground as possible when you're doing it so slow. So I want to have Iron Kid demonstrate 2 full circles around his body with his foot, okay? And go ahead. And that's 1, and that's 2. As you can see, he returns back to this central position or neutral position here, okay? So that's step number 1. All right, and before we go to step number 2, I'm actually gonna show you guys step number 1 one more time to the side. So go ahead, Iron Kid. Perfect. Perfect. So step number 2, actually there's 4 steps. All right, I lied the first introduction. So step number 2, step number 1 was we kicked the first leg. Step number 2, we're actually going to kick our left leg now, leaving the right leg where it is, okay? And Iron Kid, you want to demonstrate that? Good, again, so he's going in a full circle around, all right? So, yep, one more, that's good. All right, so what this is doing, this is getting some strength, building some strength in the hips, also a little bit more flexibility. It's also building the strength on the core. Every time he comes up, it's working really a lot on the core, okay? It's also teaching a lot of control within your backspin by just doing these 2 exercises, okay? So when I teach my students, I have them do the first step about 20 reps 4 times. Then I do the left leg, which is the step number 2, same thing, 20 times 4 reps. And each kid is different, so it depends on the student, right? It depends on you, really. You might get these pretty easy, so I wouldn't repeat as much. And you're actually, if you're very flexible and very fit, it'll be a little bit different. So that's step number 2. We're gonna go into step number 3, okay? And let me just demonstrate to you guys step number 2 again from my side view. And go ahead. Good. All right, so on to step number 3. We just went over the first leg, step number 1, second leg, step number 2. Step number 3, as you all guessed, is 2 legs, okay? So again, our starting position, he's always on his elbow, okay? So is lowering his body a little bit more. He's gonna kick 1 leg. So Iron Kid, I'm gonna have you kick a little bit this way, right? His foot is low. Avoid kicking high. You don't want this position. You're gonna kick low, okay? Right here, where his leg can't go any further, he should already be falling onto his back. This is gonna happen automatically, okay? As his leg is here and he can't go no more, that's when we start number 2, okay? Step number 2. So he's gonna keep that leg going. Step number 2 is gonna go, and then he's gonna come back around to the starting position, okay? So Arkin, why don't you demonstrate that real quick? Again, we want the feet to be as low as possible to the ground, making a full circle around the body. And go ahead. Good, there's 1. Good, there's 2. Good, and there's 3. So, go back again a little bit. Good. So as he's doing this, I don't know if you can catch this, but I will talk a little bit about it. Go again, kick 1, right? He kicks 1. When he kicks 2, right? Kick 2. We're gonna go into like a side view here. His lower back actually lifts up, so lift up your hips. His lower back would automatically be up because his feet are going to be as low to the ground as possible. All right, come back up. All right, another thing is we're trying to avoid scissoring our legs when we do this, right? Once we do the first kick, actually I'm gonna have you demonstrate this sideways, right? So once we do the first kick, go ahead, first kick, right? Now that he's gonna do the second kick, his legs are gonna flare out, right? Like there's a magnet in between both of them and they can't come together, right? So avoid scissoring legs when you're doing this. And go ahead, let me see you do that. Good, and go ahead. So we're focusing on a straddle movement here. Good, perfect. So come back to the center, Iron Kid. Good, so again, this is step number 3. Come closer. If you've done step number 1 correctly, as many times as it takes you, and the same with step number 2, step number 3 will be a lot easier for you, okay? It's important to obviously stretch. This is a tutorial on just backspins, not stretching. So it's important to stretch. It'll make this a lot easier, all right? Let's go into step number 4. All right, step number 4, the backspin, okay? So again, we literally just combined all the 3 steps that we did prior and put them all together, except this time we're gonna switch it up a little bit. So he's gonna go step number 1, right? So you do the first kick, right? Pause, because we're trying to demonstrate, right? He's here. This is the furthest he can go. Now he's gonna go step number 2 and go ahead, right? Stay right there. Step number 3 was both legs actually. But step number 4, what he's gonna do is his lower back will be up already. So he's gonna tuck his chin up. Because his lower back is up, his should be on his shoulder. Obviously, it's kind of hard to do it with slow motion. And he's gonna hug his legs. So like that, all right? So go ahead and hug your legs one more time. Good. His feet are up, right? His chin is tucked in. Good. And that should allow him to spin, all right? So, Iron Kid. We're keeping that in the video for him. All right, cool. So we're gonna go into a full backspin here. So again, we're gonna combine all 3 moves together, and I'm gonna have Iron Kid have fun with this, and he's just gonna tuck in and try to get as much as a spin as possible. Always make sure that when you finish your backspin, you come back to this position. All right, that's gonna teach you control. And go ahead, Iron Kid. And to your spot. Good. All right, cool. So again, all he did was, Iron Kid's been practicing for a while, but all he did was follow the steps that I taught him, really trained him a lot so that he can get enough power on his kicks and enough control from his core to be able to spin in the one spot, correct? And as you saw, he came back to the same position here with no problem. Right? And that's what we want. We want the control. We want it to look good. Another thing that Iron Kid did that I didn't teach you guys is when he kicked one leg, he kicked the other, he kind of crossed his legs together. That comes with the practice. you don't necessarily have to do that right now. It's more like he's been doing it so much that it actually creates more of momentum, more of power into his backspin. So that comes with the more you practice. So Iron Kid, let me see one more without you actually crossing your feet, okay? Back up a little bit. So yep, we're just gonna hug. Boom, right? Cool, cool. So, as you saw, it's still the same thing. He still got, again, he's been practicing along, so he still has the same power. And I don't know, I think that one looks really good too. So, yeah, I hope you guys learned a lot today. Again, make sure that you follow all these steps by reps. It's almost like a workout, right? So follow step number 1. Do as many reps as it takes you to get comfortable with that kick. Make sure that foot is very low to the ground. Again, same thing with step number 2. Make sure that leg is all the way on the ground as low as possible. The lowest, the better, and the better the backspin will be, and the easier you will get the backspin. What else? Yeah, I hope that this helps you. Follow all the steps, and yeah, I want to thank Iron Kid for joining us and helping us out today. Please, again, subscribe if you haven't. Like the button, or hit the like button. Yeah, and if you guys like this and it helped you out, share it because it could help other people out as well, okay? All right, have a good one, guys. Thank you.